Hey guys, so I just wanted to get in touch with you about your essay for ecology. And so it is about your biomes and biogeography. And so I wanted to kind of go over how you're going to do it. This is a little bit different than some of the other essays that we've done. So you're going to get a packet that looks like this. The first part is actually just going to be notes. So like all of this, there's just some basic background info about biomes, what they are. The very beginning, there's a definition here about biogeography. It kind of shows you the Earth history, kind of Pangea, and how things have changed since then. And then goes into biomes and climate and talks about, components of climate, things like latitude and winds and ocean currents. And then the last portion of the notes is all about just some different biomes. A lot of this stuff you've been covering since probably middle school. I know we did it freshman year. We did a biome project where you had to research like one of your biomes and present on it. It also has a little bit about marine ecosystems. So the first thing is I want to be clear that this right here, this paper, is actually a set of notes. And you're going to need that to study for your test. So you had a set of notes on just basic ecology, what is it? We talked about food chains, food webs, relationships, and then you had a second set of notes about population ecology. And so this is going to be note set number 3. So you do need to include this in your study materials for your test. Now the essay is attached to that, and you can detach it, but this particular paper is what you're going to be turning in. And so I kind of wanted to go over how you're going to fill it out. Okay, so let me kind of put it all up there so you can freeze this screen if you get confused about what you're using. You can hopefully look at this and that will help you. So the essay itself is described at the top. It says describe the concept of biogeography, and then it says include Wallace's contribution, the 7 zones that are recognized today, and a brief description of each zone. Okay. Then it also says what separates the zones from each other. So it's really kind of a long run-on sentence or something because there's a lot of information there. But the paper itself breaks it down into the different parts. So what I did was I broke the essay down into pieces. So like the first part says, describe the general concept of biogeography. And honestly, that one, if you go to your notes, there's a definition about biogeography. If you want to Google that one, that is fine, okay? Now, the next part says, what was Alfred Russel Wallace's contribution to biogeography? So I want to caution you, I do want you to Google, okay? So notice on the paper I put Google for Wallace, but Google may bring up more than one thing for Alfred Russel Wallace, because when we studied evolution and we watched a video, I don't know that he was in the video that we watched earlier this year. But Alfred Russel Wallace also came up with the ideas of natural selection. It was after Darwin. He actually shared his findings with Darwin, and his letter was one of the things that sparked Darwin to publish. So he definitely has some evolution contribution. And so for this particular essay, when you research Wallace, be sure you focus on the biogeography. Okay, so what did he do for biogeography? Don't do his evolutionary contributions, because that's not going to answer the question. So when it comes to Wallace, I want you to Google him, but be sure you're focusing on the biogeography aspect. All right, so now this last part, it says name the 7 zones recognized today. If you just Google that on your own, you're probably not going to come up with the right 7. Okay, this is coming from an activity. And the only thing that I could find was this little click type of activity. And I had Miss Petty share it with me, but the problem is I don't know how to switch over. And so it's essentially a little map activity. And what you do is you click on the different videos or on the different continents. So this link should be provided for you on Google Classroom. And so when it pulls up, there's a little map, and it has you click on the names of the zones. Like it says, name the Antarctic. And then it will be like, name the Australasian. And so you can click on them, and really that's all the activity does, is it helps you identify them. But the activity also will give you the last part of the essay, okay, the divisions, what divides the biological or the biogeographical regions. So for part of the essay, you need to use the click map, okay? That map activity is going to give you the names of the 7 zones, okay? And then it's also going to give you the divisions, all right? So when you click on them, off to the side on that map where it says that you're correct, on some of them it will tell you what the divisions are. And so for the last part of your essay, you should have 4 different divisions. And you just have to write those down, okay? You do need to include what they're dividing. You don't have to write them down more than once, because if you click on the 2 divisions that are divided, it's going to show you the same information twice. So I hope this isn't too confusing. When you click on the activity, once again, you click on the biogeographical region. That will give you their names. And then once you click on them, on some of them, out to the left, I believe, it'll tell you what the dividers are, okay? So that's part of your essay, is to name, okay, name the 7. You're going to get that from the map activity. And then you're going to name the divisions. You're going to get that from the map activity, okay? Now, the last part is to describe. It says give a brief description of each. Now, biogeography is looking at regions based on their climate, based on the living things that you will find there. So when it comes to your descriptions, they really kind of need to describe those components that define a biogeographical region. So what you need to have in your description, all your descriptions are going to come from Google, okay? Once you get the 7 names, you can Google them. And so one of them is going to be climate. So just kind of give a general idea of temperature, precipitation. And the other thing that you need to include in your description is the animal and plant life. So maybe just pick some examples of animals and plants that you would find living there. So once again, pretty simple. Define or describe biogeography. You can get that from your notes or Google. You're going to look at Wallace's contribution. You can Google that. You're going to name the 7 biogeographical zones. You're going to get that from the map. And you're also going to get their divisions from the map. And then you're going to describe those 7 zones with the help of Google, and just kind of describe their climate and their animal and plant life. And so the way this essay is going to work is you're going to complete it, and you're going to turn it in the day of the test, and part of your test points are going to come from that essay. I believe it's 16 if I'm not mistaken. So don't forget, you have a note sheet on biomes and biogeography, and then you have the essay to do. So you should have all of class after this video is over to do your essay, and then just be sure you have it completed by the day of the test. If you guys have any questions, just let me know, and hopefully I will see you soon. Talk to you guys later.